Hello, this is Matthew Armstrong, and I've just completed my 7-day fast, and it has been pretty epic, really. It's been great. It's been fantastic. I have definitely learned a lot about myself. It works much more than just on the physical level. You know, it's also working on the emotional level, the psychological level, the mental level. It's working spiritual level as well. So it's been pretty amazing. Today I've just felt very, very much at peace with everything. Nothing at all is stressing me, any thoughts or anything. Not that I really get stressed anyway, but you know, nothing's bothering me at all. I'm just completely at peace with everything. So on the physical level, you know, what's changed? You know, I'm sure there's many things that have changed internally that I just don't know about. But I do know that my physiology seems to have changed, my structure and everything. My back has been clicking and cracking, and each day I've been going out and just hanging on the pull-up bar and aligning my spine, and it's been clicking into place. Things that might have not happened for years and years and years have been moved back into place. And so that's feeling really good. My shoulders have improved, and I feel my physiology changed. Another thing is, for a long time I've had this like slight dry skin around my ear, and I've had that for a long time. I put creams on and everything, and even with you know, what I was eating, like really good food and drinking everything, it still didn't go away. And just through the fast there, that has actually completely smoothed over, and that's gone away. Another thing is, I had a verruca on my foot for a long time as well, and I never really did anything about it because it was really out of sight. I couldn't see it even if I tried to look at it properly, and so I never did anything about it. I thought it would just go away, but it never did. And you know, I've kind of picked at it before and stuff, but nothing happened. And then the other night I was in bed, and it kind of felt itchy, so I kind of picked, and I realised that it had come out into like a lump. And I hope you're not eating your dinner right now. And so I picked at it, and suddenly I put my fingers up, and my hand was like covered in blood. I was like, whoa, what's going on there? And it actually just came completely off, and it was just running of blood. And so anyway, obviously I fixed it up and everything. And today I checked it, and it's completely smoothed over, and it healed really quickly, and it's completely gone. So you know, that's the power of fasting. It heals up things on every single level. Yeah, I think it's amazing for, you know, even someone who doesn't have any sort of physical ailments, or even with psychological issues. It would be very good for someone who gets stressed a lot, because it really took away so much of anything I was worrying about. You know, it's just completely gone now, about anything or about anyone or anything like that. It's just put me completely at peace and feeling really good. It's something that you don't want to do if you've got a lot on, for sure, because I haven't been very productive these last few days. The first couple of days I really was, but after the glucose left my system, then I haven't been productive at all, and that's fine. You're supposed to rest on a fast. And I mentioned at the beginning that I was going to do a 14-day fast possibly, but you know, I want to start being productive again. I want to start getting things done. You know, I've had a lot of time to think this week, because you know, you're not eating, you're not preparing food, you're not doing anything like that. So you have more full time. A space opens in your brain which wasn't there before, and new ideas come. So that's been great, and so I just want to get really productive now. So I'm going to start eating as of this evening. And that's another thing I want to talk about is how to break your fast. Because like I said in the last video, I watched a video last week where a girl did a 40-day water fast, and then at the end of it she broke her fast by eating a steak, eating a lump of flesh from a cow. You know, that's not a cool thing to do at any time, I think, but just especially at the end of a fast, because it just puts so much stress on your system. It's such dense matter. So you want to be breaking your fast with very light foods, things that break down very easily, things that are assimilated very easily, and have very little digestion to do. So what I've decided to do is, for this next week at least, is just do almost complete mono eating. And mono eating is just eating one type of food either per day or per meal. And so for example, this evening I'm gonna have a pint of orange juice this evening, just freshly squeezed there, and then I'm going to have some rosehip tea as well, which is really, really good, full of nutrients, vitamin C and everything. And that's what I'm going to have this evening. And then tomorrow I'm going to have probably some more orange juice in the morning, and then I'm just going to eat mangoes throughout the day. Mango is one of my favourite foods, so if not my favourite, when it's perfectly ripe. So I'm just going to eat mangoes all day tomorrow, and then in the evening time I'm going to have a huge green salad of just lamb's lettuce leaves, maybe 500 grams or something. And then I'm going to get a mango, I'm going to blend it up, I'm going to pour that over it and mix that up and eat that. That's what I'm going to have tomorrow evening. And then the day after that I'm going to have a melon. Today when I went shopping I bought a melon about this size, huge melon, and watermelon. And so the next day I'm going to have that all day, and then in the evening time a huge big salad. Then the day after that, probably going to have bananas all day, and again in the evening, lots of greens. It's important to get your greens in, so I'm going to have greens in the evening each time. I'm just going to go out throughout the week just like that. So you don't have to break your fast by mono eating, but definitely by eating things that are very, very light, very easy to digest, live food. Food that are fruits and vegetables, things like that. You don't want to be eating any dried food, or processed or anything that's going to be harsh on the digestive system, or lots of foods together, because one of the things of mono eating is when the digestive system just has one thing to focus on, it's easy for it. If there's lots of different foods in there, it gets overwhelmed, it gets stressed, just like we would. If someone comes over and says, here, I want you to do this, and someone else comes over and says, and puts this on your desk, and the person puts something else on your desk, you've got all these things to do, you get overwhelmed and stressed, and you don't know what to take care of first. But if somebody comes over and just gives you one thing to do and says, okay, you've got to do this, okay, no problem, you can just pull your attention and focus on that and do it, and you'll get it done very quickly and very efficiently. Same with our digestive system. If you're just putting one thing into your body per meal, the digestive system loves it. It deals with it very, very easily. If you're putting 20 different things in, then it starts to really get stressed and overwhelmed by that. So that's one of the things about mono eating. Another thing it does is that it creates this peristaltic action where it starts to push everything through the intestines and gets any sort of matter out of the intestines as well. So it really gives your intestines and bowels a really good clean out. Peristaltic action is like, if your esophagus, when you eat, it goes like this here. The stomach kind of goes like that there as well. It will come out and then it will push back in again. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty interesting. Yeah, so I also wanted to mention, anyone that's thinking of doing a fast, that's maybe been inspired by these videos, don't just take my word for things. I'm just one person. And I am one person who follows in the footsteps of masters. I don't just take my information off anyone. I go to who's getting the best results, who's got a great track record for many, many years, and then I learn from them. And then I don't just go to one person, I go to different people, and I learn from them all, and I take what I find to be the best from them. So don't just take what I say and say, okay, I'm going to do a fast, and I'm just going to follow what he says. I recommend you read some books, research on the internet, get as much information together on fasting as you can, and then make your own informed decision. Take responsibility yourself. If you go on a fast, it's not my responsibility, it's your responsibility. So I just want to let you know that. So don't just jump into something with only little snippets of information. Make sure you're fully informed. That's my piece of advice on that one. So what else to say? Yeah, another thing on the fast was I started off drinking, the first couple of days I drank 6 litres of water for the first 2 days each day. And I think maybe I needed all that water, and maybe it was something just to curb the craving. Anytime I had a craving, I drank more water. But I started coming down and down until I was drinking, last couple of days, maybe only 3 litres. Probably because I was doing less as well. I really wasn't doing very much. My body was really, really resting. I was moving very, very, very slowly. There's just, like Charlie Sheen has one speed and it's go. I had one speed and it was slow. So you just move very, very slowly. You're using up very little energy because your body's very clever and it says to you, You want to keep your reserve. You want to don't use up this energy quickly. So you just find yourself moving and kind of floating around. It's very cool. It's a great experience. And so what I recommend is look into fasting more and then make yourself an informed decision. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break my fast with a pint of freshly squeezed orange juice that Victoria just squeezed me there. Okay. Such an appreciation for that. You know, quite often we just take food for granted because we're eating it every day all the time. We're just going ahead, there's our food, we eat it. But when you haven't eaten it for 7 days, then and you suddenly get something like that, it's just a whole new appreciation for it. Wow. Okay, so I'm looking forward to the rest of that. I think I've covered everything. So I'm going to be putting up more videos. And so please keep watching. Okay, my name is Matthew Armstrong. Take care.